Thank you for joining me today. Uh, my name is Arya Sternberg, and I am the chief thinker at Prime Variable Consulting. As I like to say, job titles are free, and why not, right? Today is October 18th of 2023, and we're going to be talking about AI and its application for small and medium enterprises. Before I start, I would just like to do an acknowledgement of country. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Bedegal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past and present, as well as to emerging leaders. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. So this is not the AI that we're going to be talking about. We're also not going to be talking about AI and robotics, which you may have seen some news about recently. Sentiment analysis, which is analyzing emotional content in different types of multimedia, text, audio, and video content. We're not going to be talking about natural language processing or understanding. We are going to be talking about natural language generation, but this is a different subset of AI that we're not going to be focusing on today. And we're also not going to be talking about computer vision, which is using AI to understand what is being seen in images and video. What we are going to talk about today is generative AI. And this is the ability of machines to autonomously create new content, and LLMs, or large language models, which are advanced AI models that excel at understanding and generating human-like text. This is all the buzz. This is all the rage. This is what's been coming out since sort of the end of last year. This isn't new. ChatGPT has been around since 2020, but really the big breakthroughs and kind of public access to these tools has been available since the very end of last year. Since then, almost on a weekly basis, we've had new technologies, new platforms being introduced, and it's been very interesting to see those. Just going to let a couple more people in here. Excellent. Now, to start off with, almost all of the generative AI and LLMs use prompts, and the skill behind it is called prompt engineering. Now, prompt engineering is the process of designing and crafting prompts to get the best results from generative AI models. Imagine that you're telling the machine what to do and how to do it. The more specific you can be, the better output you're going to get. And some of the challenges that people have faced is they say, write me a sales letter. So the AI will write a sales letter. But the more descriptive you are and the more specific you are with what you want the output to be, the better it's going to be. I'd like to paint a painting of a rainforest in, the style of Van Gogh with 8 different colorful parrots perched in the trees. Much more descriptive than paint me a rainforest. And so the more specific you can get, the better it's going to be. Let's continue going from here so we can see. Today, I really want to talk about marketing and sales applications, product development applications, and operational applications. And this is really to be immediately put to use for your small and medium enterprises. First is some use cases in marketing and sales, creating ads, social media posts, customized email marketing, hero content composition, large pieces of content, blog posts, multi-page or multimedia content, scripts, anything that's going to be able to use for marketing. Automating your customer service tasks, handling customer queries, providing instant responses, offering personalized support, improving customer satisfaction, all of these things that are personalized to the individual coming in. With a quick type of a prompt, you can actually get that answer back to you, and it can be customized based on the question that's coming in. And for sales and marketing, creating leads. So attracting potential customers, generating qualified leads, and increasing conversion rates through the use of tailored and targeted content. So if you're going to write a sales letter and you write a generic sales letter for everybody versus a sales letter for someone, you know who they are, you know what they're looking for, you can actually get that personalized experience without actually having to write the letter yourself. And I definitely don't recommend just cutting and pasting, but it definitely can cut down your time. So let's take a look at some of this in action. Before I do, you'll notice this link over here made with Gamma. This entire presentation was initially created using a platform called Gamma, which is free. I used Google Bard to create most of the content and then edited it, put it into a slide format, and then put it into Gamma, and it created not only the layout of the slides, but also the design of the slides. So we can really do a lot with a little bit of energy. So let's look at sales prompt writing. This is a prompt, and the prompt is basically telling the AI what to do. So this is the template. I am selling, insert what you're selling. I need to explain what you need to write copy for, and then use the PAS, which is problem, agitate, and solution formula to write it. Now, the prompt that I used was, I'm selling AI consulting services. I need to write an introduction to my services to attract new small, medium business owners. Use the PAS formula to write it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, just copied and pasted it. And what it gave me, depending on the platform, Google Bard or ChatGPT or Bing or Claude, which are all different versions of these generative AI models, will give you actually a whole bunch of content that is specifically written in the PAS formula about what you're looking for. If you want to get more specific, you can be more specific in terms of what you're selling and what you want it to do in terms of the output, the introduction to your services. I need to write a script for attracting new customers to my business, whatever it might be. This template is a great starting point. Let's go for another one. Oh no, someone else in the waiting room. Let's talk about customer concerns. So we want to understand what is it that customers fear and how do we address those fears. So the prompt template is identify primary fears, pains, or concerns of my target audience, who are describe your target audience, provide suggestions on how to address and alleviate these fears in our marketing campaign. So primary fears, pains, concerns of target audience, who are small and medium business owners in New South Wales, Australia, provide suggestions on how to address and alleviate these fears in our marketing campaign. Now, if you don't specify and you just put this into the generative AI, it's going to give you a generic response. So I put this into the same session where I was talking about my last target audience, so they know who my audience is and what I'm talking about. If you just use a template like this, you may need to be a bit more prescriptive and descriptive and iterate. You know, if you didn't get what you're looking for, go back and do it again. It's quite easy. Now, in terms of product development, designing new products is a great opportunity for using these tools. How do you want to understand what's out there? How do you understand what's new? Ask it to give you more information. I want to design a rubber band gun using rubber bands made from vegetable waste. Is this possible? And is there anything else out there? Ask and see what it comes back with. Improving existing products is another great tool to use. Optimizing product features, enhancing user experience, understanding the needs of the users, and really understanding actually the personas of the people you're targeting. So here's a product, here's what it is. Please tell me who are the types of people that would be interested in buying this product. Next, please give me a descriptive persona of who these people are and how I can reach them online. Next, what kind of content do they consume? Next, what kind of websites do they go to? Next, please provide me a list of 10 of the top websites where I can find these people. Next, please provide me sample search ads for Google that I can use to connect with these people. The large language models have already done all the scraping of the data about all the information you're asking for, and the generative AI is able to actually produce this for you. It's just a matter of asking for it. Testing products, another great opportunity. Really put the product out there and ask, who are the types of people that are going to buy this? What is the opportunity to sell it? And last, looking for competing products. You know, what is out there that is a direct or indirect competitor for you? What revenue? What was their revenue performance in the last 5 years? Export this to a Google spreadsheet These are all things that it can do for you. And if you're in a startup business or you're trying to, communicate to investors or board members, it's a great way to categorize and gather information quickly, see what's out there, amend it, and also ask the platform to critique your ideas. Let's take a look at an example here. So this is one of my favorites because it puts the AI in the mindset of the information that you want to get, and it will actually go in and generate and creatively put together content for you. So this is setting it up to get ready to answer any questions you have. So let's play a game. This is very important. It tells the AI that you're playing a game. It's not asking it to do something official. Act as a what with the IQ and experience level of a person or persons who are in the field by asking you many questions. Let's take a look at this. Let's play a game and act as an application of AI for business with the IQ level and experience of Elon Musk. I'll ask you many business questions. You have to answer all of those. After that, start categorizing your questions. Be sure to be explicit about the outputs and the outcomes you want to have, and always ensure that you're specific in how many responses you want. For example, give me a list of 10, give me a list of 100, give me a list of 1,000. Provide those with a summary and an extended explanation about those. Another example is for brainstorming. Let's just go straight to the example. So let's brainstorm service product ideas together. So service product ideas for small and medium business owners. You will ask yourself 1,000 questions that should generate more ideas, and you'll answer to these questions. Now, what this does is the AI automatically goes in and says, okay, I'm going to ask myself questions about all this content. I'm going to answer those, and then it will give you back usually the best responses that it can find. You can ask it to critique the questions or the answers that were there and ask it to look at it from different perspectives. Now, let's pretend you're not Elon Musk, but you're Mark Zuckerberg. How does that change your response? So really get creative. There's no cost to it, only your time and your own ingenuity and creativity. And just remember, if you're not getting what you're looking for, try asking a different way. Try changing the order of what you're asking. Now let's go into operations. Automation is a very potential outcome for this. This is more, you're going to have to go and try that yourself. But really, if you have data and you want to ask questions of the data, that is a great use case for these platforms. Optimizing processes, identifying bottlenecks, optimizing workflows. And now with ChatGPT 4, you can actually put in a workflow or a complex diagram and ask it to analyze it and provide you with a clear explanation for it. And I'll show you an example of how we can do that later. And the last is just improving efficiency. So, are there activities that you're doing that are not efficient? Are there ways to minimize waste and reduction? Are there ways to look at, here are the people that are working in my company. Let's upload the job descriptions. Let's upload their performance reports. Now let's analyze and say, are there any people here who could be doing different things? Are there any double up of tasks? Are there any activities that could be done differently to be improved? Can you provide me with examples of other companies that are doing this differently? So there are definitely ways to just dive in where an answer on Google just isn't going to be there for you. Now let's look at an example here. Let's explain a complex topic like I'm a 5-year-old. List the number of what do you want. Create a document type in order to do something for a specific audience. So explain generative AI like I'm a 5-year-old, 5 years old, or a 5-year-old. List 20 useful ways I can use generative AI to sell my services online. Create a frequently asked questions guide in order to provide my current and future customers with answers to questions about my business for small and medium business owners. So again, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Who is it for? be specific. I'll share these slides later for those of you who are interested, but really it's about that specificity. Um, I'm just going to do this if I can. So they could put them, let the sleeping people enjoy their sleep. Let's continue and talk about just the benefits and pitfalls of using AI. The benefits, we've talked about some, but once you start trying to use the tools and getting a hang of it, you're going to find that your efficiency goes up and your use of time changes. You're doing more with the same amount of time, particularly if you're using it for finding information, defining ideas, research and fact checking, obtaining definitions, coming up with ideas. Brainstorm. Let's talk about different ways that we can do something. Designing templates and getting access to templates. Things like, if you're in business, a non-disclosure agreement or a profit and loss forecast, these sorts of things, very powerful. Creating all kinds of content. We've talked about some of those, and I strongly recommend to try doing it on your own. Checking grammar, translating into different languages, and the business automation. Now, some of the challenges are the pitfalls. If you don't have expertise in how to use the tools and writing prompts, you may feel uncomfortable or even frustrated because you're not getting what you're looking for. And hopefully today's conversation has helped you to, get a bit more familiar with that. It's a black box solution. And from that, what I mean by that is you can't look under the hood. There are ways to ask the AI how it came up with the answers it's giving you. If you want more information on that, there's something called chain of thought. And so you can actually go and ask the AI, how did you come up with this? Please list the steps of what you did to provide the solution. AI can hallucinate. And one of the challenges that we've seen with AI is that people will ask a question for facts, and it will come up with a bogus answer. It will make something up. And so for fact-based activity, it's not as recommended to use these solutions. You can ask different platforms to provide you with references, but if you were to write a long research paper and do work, I would definitely suggest to check the facts. Recency. So if you're using ChatGPT 3.5, which is free, it only has data up to 2021. ChatGPT 4 is current. Google Bard is current. Claude.ai is current. But still, it's good to check those facts. Relevance is another one where the AI is not smart. It doesn't have a brain. It's not thinking. It's not using logic. It's putting together what it thinks you're asking for. And so sometimes it just doesn't get it right. This is why being as specific as possible is important. Data privacy and security is an issue, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But generally speaking, what you put into the AI could potentially be used elsewhere. And so if you are interested in having, generative AI or access to a finite set of data that does not get shared outward, you can set up private instances of these large language models and AI-powered chatbots based on your content that's within your firewall. So you can save on that. And the last one is limited resources. We only have two hands. And so while you may want to do a lot more, you may get stuck and find that the AI isn't doing something you want it to do. I recommend to go back and do it the way that you know how to do it, so you don't waste time going down the black hole trying to make things work. Now, in terms of overcoming challenges, I definitely suggest partnering with experts. People like myself, we're out there. YouTube has heaps of videos on how to write prompts. There are some experts out there on Instagram, on TikTok, on X. Everyone has a perspective. There are also tools that you can plug into Google Chrome, different websites, different chatbots that take advantage of ChatGPT on the back end or other tools, and just try. Just give it a go. Using the cloud-based solutions, today, many of them are free. So, get it while it's hot. Go in and try it out. And Lastly, if you are using it for your organization and data privacy and protection are issues, definitely make sure that you're understanding what kind of data is being uncovered or used and stored by the platform you're using. Any of the enterprise solutions will keep your data safe and encrypted, but really just be sure that you're across, where that data is going. In particular, if you're looking at the Facebook models using Llama or Llama 2. Now, in terms of some resources and tools you can use, we've got just a list here. I used Google Bard for these solutions. Um, I also used Gamma for the slide presentations. I used Ideogram for some of the image creation. I bounce between Google Bard and Claude. They're both pretty good with the text-based tools. In Claude, I think the best use case is uploading a PDF and asking for key action points or key summary points and asking it to give that to you. If you have a 100-page PDF and you can't read it, it will tell you what's in it, and that's great. Now, Microsoft Copilot has launched or is about to launch. By the time you're watching this, it probably has launched, and very powerful tool. Just be aware that it's built into every single Microsoft product. It's easy to use it as a crutch. Write this for me, do that for me, as opposed to doing it yourself. I'm definitely guilty of that, and I'll probably continue being guilty of that because you get into a rhythm and start using these tools and you keep going. Um, Canva has ChatGPT built in, so it can help you with that. And Adobe Photoshop, we didn't touch on today, but their image and video content is incredible. You can identify a person in a picture and move them around or remove them from a picture. You can actually change clothing of a person without having to do anything. You don't actually have to use the tools. You just click on the person, click on, change the shirt from a black t-shirt to a blue t-shirt, and it's done just like that. So in conclusion, um, these tools are incredible. They're free. They're out there. If you're not using them yet, you definitely should be using them. And it's a great opportunity to jump in and just, try. Uh, if you find yourself going down a rabbit hole of trying to get something to work the way you want it to work, stop, stand up, do a twist, figure out how to get your head out of the game and get yourself back into it. And that's about it. Got a few minutes for Q&A while we're waiting for any questions to come in. Just wanted to share some of the tools that I use and that are out there. We've spoken about the text-based tools. From an image generation perspective, you can use Bing to access ChatGPT 4 for DALL-E3, DALLE3. They're telling me I have to upgrade, but we're almost done anyway. Ideogram is another free image generation tool, and Midjourney is not free, but in my opinion, is the best one out there. For audio and video, 11 Labs allows you to record a sample of your voice and then have that available to speak a script and take your voice. It also has voices that you can use. So if you wanted to give a speech, you'd actually be able to upload a script or a piece of content, and it would read it in your voice. What's even cooler is you can automatically translate that into another language, and your voice will be speaking Spanish, French, Chinese, Japanese, German, Finnish. I think there's over 80 languages. Synthesia and HeyGen are take your face, you upload an image into that. It will then give your face animation and have you lip sync and read from a script. You can upload an audio file from 11 Labs or use one of the audio voices that's built in, and that is also in multiple languages. Runway allows you to take a static image and then animate it. So if I took a picture of me sitting here, it might make my mouth move, it might make me look in different directions, but that's how that works. Websites, I mentioned Gamma before. One of the guests had asked about tools for architecture. So BricsCAD, Maquette.ai, and Hyper are all tools that can be used for architecture. So I don't see any questions. There is a chat. All right. So I am going to conclude this session. I'd like to thank everyone who joined for your attention, and I hope that this was useful for you. And for those of you who's it's a little bit later in the day, I hope you had a good rest. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye.